Okay, today I want to talk a bit about investing in fix and flips as part of a real estate investment strategy. So, fix and flips can be very risky. A lot of money can be made with fix and flips because there's a potential to get a property at a good value, do the necessary renovations, and sell it for a good profit. Um, there's also the opportunity or the risk that you would lose money on fix and flips. So, what exactly is a fix and flip when it comes to real estate investing? So, what people do is they purchase a property from a motivated seller who is trying to sell this property at a discount price for whatever reason they need to sell. Um, I won't go into that, that's in another session. But the challenge is you want to get a property at way below market value. So you look at the properties in the area, you determine that the market value for this property, let's say, is 400,000. You want to be able to purchase this price at about 70% of market value. So that means buying it at 280,000 in this example. Then what happens is you'll estimate the cost for the renovations, add that to the purchase price if you're able to purchase it at that, and then determine if there's enough profit in there for you to invest in this property. Okay, so once the renovations are done, you would sell this property at a premium price that's relative to what the market price is, and there's your profit. Okay, but there's a lot of unknowns with fix and flip, and as I said, there's a lot of risk associated with it. So when you first do a fix and flip, what I recommend is you do it with an experienced contractor, or you do it with a partner, with somebody else who's done it, and you just come in and you shadow that person. Okay, so here's a lot of the, I guess, the unknowns or the risk associated with fix and flip. First of all, it's hard to find fix and flips. It's hard to find good deals because there are a lot of people out there looking for properties just like you that want to do the fix and flip just like you're trying to do. These people do fix and flips for a living. Sure, there's some people out there that are doing, like, let's say, one or two a year, but there's some people out there that are doing like one a month, right, or more. And they have teams in place, so they know the market. They know how to find these properties. They have a lot of people out there looking for properties for them to be able to put into their projects and do fix and flips on it. So again, it's hard to find good deals. So you got to be looking all the time. The other big risk with fixing and flip is understanding what the renovations are going to cost. Okay, so you're going to do your renovations, and as I said, you want to make sure you're working with an experienced contractor or an experienced partner. You're going to do your estimates, and then those estimates, what I would do is add, 25 to 50% on top of what your original estimates are. None of this a 5 or 10% margin or, whatever you want to call it, fluctuation in there to be able to make sure your estimates are good. You want to really put in a good recommend a good buffer. That's the word I'm looking for. So 25 to 50%. Okay. Now the other challenge with the renovations is even though you put in those good estimates, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's underneath the floorboards, behind the walls, in the plumbing and the electrical. Sure, you'll get an inspection, but the inspection may miss something. The other thing is a lot of these fix and flips are being sold without inspections because you've got a lot of people out there trying to buy these things. So if the owner says, as is, you've got to take that risk. I wouldn't recommend you doing a fix and flip as is to start with. So again, that's going to make your buying and finding a fix and property that much harder because you're going to be competing against people who will buy properties some sight unseen without an inspection. Okay, so be careful of the risks associated with the renovations and your estimates of those renovations. The other risk is delays. One delay you're going to find is trying to get the inspectors in, trying to get the approvals for the work you've done. You're going to be doing your electrical work, you're going to be doing your plumbing work, and then you're going to try to schedule an inspector. Well, guess what? That inspector may not be available when you need them to. So now you've got delays, and now you've got these people sitting there, these contractors, these workers sitting there waiting for these inspections to be done, or you're waiting to put this property on the market and you can't. Okay? Then speaking of the market, that's another challenge. Okay, so you may be working in a very competitive market, meaning there's a lot of inventory out there for whatever reason. It's a buyer's market. So now you've got to put your property and you've got to compete with all these other people trying to sell these properties, and not just necessarily fix and flips, but any property that's out there and buyers are looking to buy. And so be careful of where you are with the market. Now, and then the other thing is delays in selling. So for whatever reason, if you decide you've got a property that's worth 400,000, don't put your property up for, let's say, 425 because you think you've done a better job. Ideally, you want to put the property up for sale below market value because you don't want to hold on to this property very long. If you're holding on to these properties because of the delays I just mentioned, you're going to incur expenses. I'm assuming you're going to have a mortgage on the property, you're going to have to pay property taxes, you're going to have utilities. So all those things contribute to costs associated with the overall expenditures, the overall expenses of your fix and flip. Okay? So that's just a summary of the risk associated with fix and flip. And what my recommendations are is getting a partner or getting an experienced contractor if this is the first one. Okay? Thanks very much.